I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Can I move my...
And have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that.
Qasim Shabazz is shaken up.
Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives.
Let him know with this pullover, this was authorized. Think about that. Authorized to pull him over. That you ain't gonna never be bigger than us. That's what the cops send a message. I don't care what anybody say.
The celebration for Terence Crawford in Omaha took a shocking twist just hours after the city celebrated his victory over Canelo Alvarez. What began with a parade and late-night festivities shifted dramatically in the early morning when police pulled over a blue four-door sedan for allegedly speeding. Officers say the atmosphere changed instantly after they spotted a firearm on the floorboard, prompting them to draw their weapons and command everyone to step out of the car, turning a night of triumph into a tense and alarming situation.
Seatbelt. I'm opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening the
off
door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Can I move my...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tim Bradley spoke out about what unfolded during Terence Crawford traffic stop, and his reaction caught attention for being honest and reflective. Bradley hinted that it did not feel like an ordinary traffic matter, but something deeper aimed at a fighter whose fame has reached another level. He explained that success does not place anyone above the law, and that no matter how big the moment may be, accountability remains the same for everyone. Bradley described it as a familiar cycle where joy can quickly turn into pressure, almost as if a perfect day is not allowed to stay perfect for long. His words resonated with fans, who could not ignore the contrast of Crawford being celebrated across the city, and then facing flashing lights and a tense roadside scene just hours later, transforming celebration into unease in an instant.
I mean, Terence Crawford, he on the highest cloud, bro. In his city, let him know. Let him know. With this pullover, this was authorized. Think about that. Authorized to pull him over. That you ain't gonna never be bigger than us. That's what the cops send a message. I don't care what anybody say. The cops send a message. This our city. You might got the key, but I got the handcuffs. That's what that was. Yeah. Before y'all start talking about my ceiling real quick, my roof, hey, it been raining and stuff. Hey, it's raining now. The clouds is out right now. You can see them in the background. I'm going to go watch the damn car in a little bit once this rain stops. But anyways, back to the video. Oh, man, look. You ain't got no city until you got the police. That's a fact. Yeah. Shoot. You ain't got no city unless you got the police. Don't ever forget that. You gotta have the law enforcement on your side, man. They gotta be looking out for you. For the good. Not for the bad, for the good. Yeah. Terence Crawford, it don't matter what you do for your city, man. Bruh, I'm letting you know right now, man. With this incident right here, they waiting on you to do something bad. This dude right here, he was trying to jack you. He was trying to catch you slipping. That's all it was. Seeing you on TV, displayed all on TV, parade shut down and stuff. He gotta be, securing certain points and stuff like that. He mad. He mad to see you.
The head of security for Terence Crawford said the traffic stop was terrifying and far from routine. He shared that from their perspective, the officers appeared highly agitated, and their approach intensified the encounter almost instantly. What was supposed to be a celebratory weekend suddenly turned into a life-or-death feeling as they were ordered out of the vehicle at gunpoint. He described how the atmosphere shifted in seconds from normal to hostile, leaving everyone shaken, according to him. This was not a minor traffic issue, but a deeply distressing incident that rattled the entire team and stands as one of the most disturbing experiences of his career.
Chief, who was in the passenger seat, the same man who rode on the float with Bud during Saturday's parade.
Be a man who can get to receive his second key to the city and have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that.
Qasim Shabazz is shaken up.
Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives.
Being the head of Terence Crawford's security, Shabazz has seen a lot, but nothing like this.
Oh man, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Early Sunday morning, Crawford and his team were leaving an after-party following his parade. According to police, they pulled their vehicle over near 12th and Cass Streets for reckless driving. That's where things took a dark turn.
And as soon as he said he had a firearm, the police officer that was on his side became unhinged.
Police immediately drew their weapons, pointing a gun at Shabazz and the pound-for-pound champ.
I literally had my hands on top of the ceiling and the inside of the vehicle.
According to police, an officer had identified a firearm on the floor of...
According to police, an officer stated that a firearm was spotted on the floorboard after Terence Crawford was pulled over on suspicion of reckless driving. Reports indicated that officers believed they saw 2 weapons inside the vehicle, which immediately heightened the situation and resulted in everyone being ordered out at gunpoint. Once the scene was secured, further inspection confirmed the firearms were legally owned and properly registered with no other violations discovered. Crawford was issued a citation for reckless driving and released soon after. Although the case was officially closed, many onlookers felt the timing carried deeper meaning, pointing out that on the very day Crawford was celebrated as a champion, the city of Omaha appeared to reestablish its authority, making the encounter seem less about traffic enforcement and more about a display of control.
Parade. KETV Newswatch 7's Pete Cuddihy spoke with Mayor John Ewing, who requested that the Omaha Police Department conduct an internal investigation. And Pete, what did the mayor have to say?
Yeah, Julie, Mayor Ewing says that after such a great day yesterday, he was heartbroken hearing about the news of the traffic stop. That's why he reached out to Police Chief Todd Schmaderer and Terence Crawford himself to find out what exactly happened at that traffic stop. Omaha police released a statement saying that a car driven by Terence Crawford was stopped for driving recklessly around 1:30 in the morning on Cass Street. An officer confirmed that while Crawford was reaching to grab his information, the cop spotted a gun by Crawford's.
Andre Ward shared a different angle, explaining that Terence Crawford has often dealt with people trying to reduce the impact of his achievements. Ward pointed out that before the Canelo fight, critics pushed the idea that Crawford relied on decisions instead of clear dominance, creating a storyline meant to question his ability and shrink his accomplishments. From Ward's perspective, the Omaha traffic stop reflects a larger pattern where a champion repeatedly finds himself defending his name against narratives designed to chip away at his success. He emphasized that no outside noise can rewrite what Crawford has accomplished or take away the respect he has earned every time he steps into the ring.
Bury Terence Crawford. They tried to ruin his reputation and say that he wasn't a draw when the numbers were there for you to see. When he went to MSG against guys that didn't have big names or that were faded, like Amir Khan, or when he fought Kaviaskis, he did numbers. There was a smear campaign about his personality. He doesn't talk. Nobody wants to hear him. No, that you don't want to hear him. So you try to speak for the masses when the whole time you have a star right here. You got to learn how to talk to this man. Even as recent as his last fight, the fight before Canelo, the smear campaign continued. I don't hear the smear campaign now. Them voices got really, really quiet like they typically do when they get proven wrong. And they either try to jump on the wagon, I knew this kid was going to be that, or they get very, very quiet and they start to retreat back to wherever they came from and they don't have a lot to say. So I'm happy for this brother for that reason, because they tried to bury him, Roy. It didn't work. He overcame that. He said, give me my shot. I'm going to show you. And he kept doing it time and time again, and he did it again against Canelo Alvarez Saturday.
Some commentators believe there was more beneath the surface during the Omaha incident involving Terence Crawford beyond the official explanation. A few have suggested that certain figures within the city may have felt uncomfortable with the level of influence and admiration Crawford now carries. His rise from hometown standout to world champion turned him into more than an athlete. It made him a symbol of pride for the community. According to this view, the traffic stop may have acted as a quiet reminder to both Crawford and the public that traditional power structures still hold control. This interpretation ties the moment to a broader pattern where fame brings added pressure, and those in the spotlight often face situations that seem to test their standing or reign in their growing impact regardless of their accomplishments.
Police officer wanted to send a statement because he doesn't like the rise of the Black Messiah. He don't like to see a black person in position of power. So he pulled Terence Crawford over for quote-unquote reckless driving. And as he approached the car, he decided to lie on his report, because as he approached the car, he stated that he saw a firearm on the floor panel. Come to find out, Terence Crawford informed him as he approached the driver's side door where Terence Crawford was driving, and in the passenger side was Terence Crawford's head security guard. In the back was Coach Malachi, and a young lady was on the side of Coach Malachi in the back seat. And Terence Crawford has legal firearms, and of course his security has legal firearms. They informed the officer that they have legal firearms in the vehicle. He then brandished his firearm, pointed at Terence Crawford's face, and then got very aggressive as Terence Crawford got, and his security and everybody in the vehicle, Coach Malachi, got nervous because he started to show the actions and body language of somebody that wanted to do something completely left. And now in the police report that has been obtained by the community and released and leaked, he never puts about the reckless driving.
Amir Khan, the former world champion, stepped forward to show support for Terence Crawford, making it clear that no controversy can erase what he has achieved. Khan applauded Crawford's talent and relentless drive, saying he always believed Terence would establish himself among the very best in boxing. In his eyes, the situation in Omaha does nothing to damage the reality that Crawford stands as a reigning champion with a legacy already cemented. Khan insisted that any effort to apply pressure or downplay those accomplishments cannot rewrite the truth of his greatness. For fans, his words were encouraging, serving as a reminder that genuine skill and determination always rise above criticism.
I knew that Crawford's going to win. You see, when I watched Crawford train back in Omaha, Nebraska, and when I was in Colorado Springs, he came into my camp. He helped me out a little bit, but at the same time, I seen him sparring some heavyweight guys. I seen him wrestling some heavy, big guys, and I thought, wow. So I asked him, I go, look, do you have like a wrestling background? He goes, yeah, we're like state champion. So that showed to me that this guy is a solid, strong person. Like, no one can push him around. No one can dictate. No one's going to put pressure on him where he's going to feel hurt, because he knows how to control the ring. When it comes to box IQ, like, his IQ in boxing is probably the best. I mean, he knows what punch to throw. He knows how to maneuver these heavier, big hitters and also take away their power and put his own shots in. So yeah, he's up there, one of the best ever, really.
You know, as an ex-fighter champion, I'm just curious. We heard yesterday, Dana White says he's not going to acknowledge the WBC, IBF, WBO. He's going to have his own belt and the ring belt, and they want to potentially make changes to the Ali Act as well. This is a big thing here in America. How do you feel about? Is it time to make these changes and evolve, or are you more old school and think they shouldn't happen?
Ariel, I think it's the time boxing needed to change a little bit.
The difference between the official version and the stories shared by those on the scene created a clear split in how that night was understood. The Omaha Police Department labeled it a routine stop tied to reckless driving, but Crawford, head of security, described something far more alarming. He said the response felt extreme and unnecessarily aggressive, turning an ordinary situation into a frightening ordeal. These opposing accounts sparked debate about transparency, accuracy, and responsibility. For many observers, it became challenging to align the calm tone of the official statement with the first-hand descriptions from those who believed they were placed in avoidable danger.
Police report, but now we got information from Terence Crawford, his own team, and they're saying something completely different. If you listen, his head of security, Shabazz, said he was shaken up. He was like, I thought we were going to get popped by the cops that night. And crazy enough, he teaches classes on how to de-escalate and deal with police officers. So, you know, at least that's what they're saying his credentials are. So he knows how to de-escalate situations and still had a problem with Omaha PD. And the other thing that is different, he's saying that they didn't even know that he had a gun on him, or there was no gun on the floorboard, which changes things. So I can't wait till we get down to the nitty gritty and the body cams and this and that, because now this shakes things up. This is no longer the story we were being fed from TMZ. This is something different. The TMZ article said the cops pulled him over for reckless driving, affair if he was doing it and seen a gun. And in my video, I said, if those things are true, then yeah, the cop can take you out the car for everybody's safety, including...
City leaders quickly acknowledged the intensity of the public response and moved to address concerns. Both the mayor of Omaha and the police chief released statements promising a full review of the incident. They stressed that internal affairs would conduct an investigation to ensure transparency and uphold community trust. While these statements aimed to reassure the public that the situation would be handled properly, many remained skeptical, believing the official account downplayed the seriousness of the encounter. Announcing an investigation was a necessary step, but for many the ultimate judgment would depend on whether actions matched the promises. Analysts and observers saw the episode as a wider lesson, illustrating the tensions that arise when an individual rises to prominence in a sphere historically controlled by established institutions.
Police department put out this statement. The mayor put out a statement as well. Really no meat to it, except like he's going to do an internal investigation. Everything else felt a little political. Okay, Omaha Mayor John Ewing and Police Chief Todd Schmaderer, are aware of a video circulating on social media regarding the traffic stop involving Terence Crawford early Sunday morning. Chief has authorized an internal affairs investigation. Shortly before 1:30 a.m., officers working in the downtown area observed a vehicle driving recklessly near North 12th and Capitol Avenue. A traffic stop was conducted at Cass Street. So he's pulled over because they said he's driving recklessly. All right. While speaking with the driver, an officer observed a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. I'm going to read that sentence to you again. While speaking with the driver, an officer observed a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. That is important. For safety, all 4 occupants were ordered out of the vehicle at gunpoint. The driver was later identified as Mr. Crawford upon verification of his driver's license and was issued a citation for reckless driving. One passenger, a member of Mr. Crawford's security team, was also found to be carrying a legal firearm. Okay, so that's 2 guns in the car, legally. Police have confirmed that all occupants are legally permitted to carry firearms. A police supervisor and lieutenant responded to the scene at Mr. Crawford's request. So he requested a supervisor and lieutenant to show up. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Commentators noted that those in positions of power can sometimes feel threatened by the rise of others, especially when that rise draws widespread public admiration. In their view, the Omaha traffic stop may have been less about traffic enforcement and more about a clash between individual achievement and established authority. This situation reflects a timeless reality that those who gain influence often face resistance from those already in control. Some public responses raised concerns about bias, suggesting the stop might have been shaped not just by procedure, but by deeper social factors. While most avoided extreme language, many felt Crawford's experience highlighted a broader pattern where individuals are treated differently based on identity rather than actions alone. This perspective fueled strong emotions among his supporters, who saw the incident as unfair and unnecessary regardless of opinion. The episode sparked conversation not just about Crawford's treatment, but also about how communities view justice, fairness, and equality in everyday encounters with authority.
It's also incumbent for me to say that it will not be lost on a lot of people that Terence Crawford, being obviously a black man, being pulled over by cops in such fashion and treated in such a seemingly harsh way, will not go down well with a lot of people, especially in the black community, where, let's be honest, there has been tensions over the years between the police and the black community throughout many American towns and cities. So let's be honest, this incident will do nothing to improve relations between those two groups, that's for sure. Because make no mistake, this is an incident that could have gone very left, very, very left. And someone could have got hurt, maybe even fatally hurt. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, because we've seen in the past where incidents of this nature have ended up very badly. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are very upset by this incident. As I said, I've not heard anything from Terence Crawford or anyone related to Terence Crawford, anyone to do with his inner circle. I would imagine he'll be releasing a statement soon. There are some people online who are suggesting that Terence Crawford may have grounds to sue. There are others saying that he might not want to sue because Terence Crawford is a much loved member of the Omaha, Nebraska community, and he does a lot of work for the city, so he may not want to sue the city. However, it'll be interesting to see.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more. Until next time.